Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is another foundation first impression. Today we are reviewing the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. So I think this came out a couple of months ago, but I haven't really heard too much about it until just recently. If you've been following me for a while, you would know that I love foundations and I love doing foundation first impressions. They're my favorite videos to film. So from what I can see on the Priceline website is that it comes in 6 different shades. So that's not really like a huge shade range. I'm not sure if different colors are available in like the US, but this just looks like what we have available in Australia and at Priceline. Like I said, there might be other colors in like different stores, but this is just what I can see online. Retails for $29.95. At the moment it's on sale for $20.96, so they have 30% off at the moment, which is pretty good. It just says it's long lasting, 24 hours of coverage, ultralight feel, covers redness, marks, dark spots, and it's meant to not be cakey at all. And it also says ultimate spreadability, so it looks like it's meant to be just a really swell foundation. So I'm pretty keen to try this out. I have the shades 9 Light Sand and 21 Golden Sand and 32 Amber. So I do have a fresh tan on, like I applied it a few days ago. So I think I'm probably going to be Golden Sand. I think that sounds really familiar to other shades that I wear in L'Oreal, but I can't remember like the exact number, but this one did look like the best match. What I'm going to do though is swatch them on the sides of my face so we can see which one's going to match my body the best, and just so we can compare the 3 shades that I do have. Hopefully it'll help you guys pick your shade better. I know I don't have all of them, but you know, you'll be able to compare the 3 together. Like always, I'm going to prime one side of my face. I'm just using the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is what I always use. As of recently, like the last few months, my skin has just been a little bit dehydrated. I'm going to prime the right side of my face. I don't have anything else on apart from my eye makeup and my brows. And I do have currently quite a few breakouts and just like really blocked pores and like congested skin. I always get it. It's really bad. I've got like pimple here on my chin is really bad. So I'm really keen to see how this total cover covers everything, if it like totally covers. As you guys can see, compared to my fake tan, I do have a lot of redness in my face. I don't really have any fake tan on my face at the moment. Probably like a little bit is left over, but it's wearing off pretty quickly. So my face is quite a lot lighter than my body, so we are going to be matching it to my rest of my body, my chest, my neck. So it is going to be darker than my face, and you guys can see that I just do have a lot of redness. So I think I'm going to swatch Golden Sand first because I think that's the one that's going to match me the best. So I've just gotten a little bit on my finger. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't have my contacts in right now, so I can't even see the viewfinder. But in the mirror, that looks like the closest shade to my body. I think that is going to swatch, like it's going to match pretty well. But I'm going to swatch Light Sand. I think I might actually mix Light Sand and Golden Sand. Just, I don't know, just because I like my face to be a little bit lighter than my body. I know that might sound weird, but I just feel like my face can get really dark really quickly when I apply like bronzer and stuff like that. And then that's the darkest one. So here we have number 9. This one is 21 and this one is 32. So this one was Light Sand, Golden Sand and Amber. This one looks like it's oxidizing. Like you can see where it's still wet and where it's dried. So I'm definitely going to mix Light Sand and Golden Sand just to make sure I don't get any, like I don't go too dark during the day. So I just squirted out Light Sand and Golden Sand just on one of my little compacts. You guys can see Golden Sand and Light Sand. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera or not, but it's really moussey. You guys can see that it's quite thick. It doesn't really like drip or anything like that. And it does look like it'll be quite matte and dry on the skin. So I'm just going to blend this out with my Sigma F80 flat kabuki brush. This is my favorite for foundations. I'm pretty sure I've used it in almost every single one of my first impressions videos. I do have a 10% off code for you guys. It's just kaseyrayton, and that will save you 10% on your order. So definitely check that out if you want to purchase any Sigma items. I'm just going to start like patting it into the skin and dragging it downwards. Seems to be applying really nicely. It's really matte. It looks really airbrushed though. So that's what it looks like so far. I feel like I have a bit of streaking on my face, like here and here. I don't know, I feel like it just kind of looks a bit patchy. Foundation itself looks really flawless on my skin. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can like see the difference. As you guys will hopefully be able to see. I have a lot of redness. I've got a really bad dark circles. I don't get enough sleep. I don't drink enough water. What's new? But you can see how much it has changed. Obviously the color of my skin because it's darker, but it has really covered up the redness. I feel like this is a medium coverage foundation from what I can see so far. I don't know if you guys can see like the texture on my skin. Like I just have a lot of little like bumps. I don't know, my skin texture is really bad, and I feel like this has just like smoothed it all out. Especially along here, I always get like a little rash just from irritants and like skincare stuff. I have really sensitive skin, so yeah, I don't know, I feel like it looks really good so far. So now I'm just going to do the right side of my face, and this is the primed side. I am literally just going to take whatever is left on my little compact here. We'll see how far we can make this foundation go. I feel like it does go a lot darker once it starts to set. So yeah, that's definitely something to note. Hopefully it's not going to oxidize too much, but I'm really glad that I blended these two shades together. I'm not really noticing too much of a difference blending it out. It might be like a little bit easier to blend on this side just because the primer is really hydrating. I feel like I don't need as much coverage on this side, so that's definitely something to note. It might be to do with the primer, like it's easier to blend, so I'm able to spread it around my face a little bit more seamlessly. Sorry about the cars. So that was almost enough to cover this side of my face. I've used up pretty much what was on my compact. I am going to mix a little bit more together, and I'm going to use my beauty blender and see if that blends out any differently. Alright, so what I'm noticing with the beauty blender is that you really have to push it into the skin. It's not like an easy to blend foundation with a beauty blender as most are. Like with my L'Oreal Pro Glow, that just blends out so seamlessly and so quickly. And I feel like you don't really need to press that hard. You can just kind of swap it on there and it does its thing. But this, I feel like you really have to make sure you press it in. Otherwise it kind of is sitting on top of the skin rather than in the skin. I actually feel like the brush blended it out a little bit better and more quickly. But I do feel like I'm getting a more airbrushed look by going in with this and really like sort of rolling the beauty blender and pressing it in. I don't know if you guys can tell, I feel like this side is darker than this side that we just applied. So it's kind of reinforcing the idea that it could in fact oxidize. So now that I have spread it all around my face and blended everything in, I'm kind of realizing that it's a little bit more pink than I intended. I usually try and go for a more yellow based foundation because, as you guys can see, I fake tan. I do have more yellow warm undertones in my skin, and it's not, I can't really see like a huge difference on the viewfinder, but in person you can tell that my face is just, I'm not sure, just a little bit more, not neutral, but a little bit more on the pink side than the rest of my body, than my chest. That might just be because I mixed it with the lighter one. So next time that I try this out, I'm going to just use that golden sand shade. I just didn't want to risk it today and end up having like a really dark face because I hate when that happens. So far all I can notice is that it's kind of sticking to dry patches on my nose that I didn't know that I have. If you guys don't know, I have combination skin, so I am oily through like my T-zone and then dry on the sides. It's also sensitive and it is also dehydrated, so I just got like all the good things. Kind of blended all of my little congestion bumps together, so it just kind of looks flat and they don't look as bad as they usually look. When you touch it, it's still tacky to the touch and it does transfer, but it just looks really flat. It doesn't have like a lot of life in it. So yeah, that's just not what I'm digging at the moment, but other than that, it looks good. So it's currently 2:23 p.m. I did not realize it was that late in the day, but I'm going to wear this for the rest of the day and check back in and stuff. I do have a concealer little palette that they sent me as well. This is the Infallible Total Cover Full Coverage Long Wear Concealer Palette, so I figured I would try this out today as well because I figured they're like intended to be used together. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I could have used the color correcting shades today, but I wanted to see how the foundation covers on its own. So I'm just taking my Sigma Shader Lid E56 brush. This is technically an eye brush, but it's like a little concealer type of brush. So I'm just going to use that to apply it. I'm going to take a mix of these two shades. So I'm just applying that with the brush and then going back in with the Beauty Blender just to tap it in. I used this concealer the other day when I didn't have any foundation on, and I just used it to help hide my dark circles and a little bit of redness. I thought I got foundation on my top then. A little bit of redness around my face and just like blemishes, that sort of thing, and I feel like it covers really well. I feel like that just covered my dark circle like perfectly. That's actually really, really nice. I actually really like this concealer. I don't usually like cream palettes of any sort unless it's just for contouring, and even then, I don't know, I just feel like they dry out really quickly, but this is really, really creamy. I really like it. I think it covers really well and it has a really natural finish. That's why I think it wore so well the other day when I didn't wear any makeup but concealer. So yeah, like I said, it's like 2:20, 2:30 at the moment, so I am going to go. I feel like a muffin, I want a coffee, so I'm gonna finish the rest of my foundation, and yeah, I'll check back in a few hours with you guys. Alright guys, so it's now at 3:20. I would show you on my phone, but I have like 2% charge, so it's in the bedroom charging. But believe me, it's been like an hour. I just finished doing the rest of my face. Just quickly want to check in and let you guys know how the foundation is wearing, how all the products applied. I don't really have anything to report. It just looks really, like, I don't know, flawless on my skin, which is crazy. The only thing I don't like is the color. I just feel like the color is kind of off. It's not the same tone as the rest of my body, just a little bit too pink. All the products applied really nicely. It is settling into my smile lines a little bit, and it kind of looks a little bit cakey on my chin. I'm just about to take a couple of makeup pictures because I just filmed this tutorial for you guys, and then Hamish and I are going to go get a coffee and a muffin because I just really feel like a chocolate muffin or something. So yeah, I'll be back in a couple of hours. Hey guys, so I'm back. It is now 5:49 in the evening. I'm just about to go and make some dinner and stuff, so I thought I would just do a quick check-in. It's kind of gotten a little bit patchy, and it's kind of like separating on my nose. I'll zoom in a sec and show you guys what it's looking like. It looks pretty much the same as it did a few hours ago around my mouth, how it's just kind of sitting in like my smile lines, and then on my chin it still looks a little bit cakey, so it just doesn't look that great around my mouth. It's nothing crazy, but it just doesn't look like skin, if you guys get me. And then like on the side of my face here, it's kind of rubbing off just a little bit. So other than that, it looks pretty good. As I said, I'll zoom you guys in. It's mostly my nose that it's not really holding up that well on. The concealer that I use is kind of wearing away underneath my eyes, so I don't know if you guys can see, like I said, the concealer is fading underneath my eyes, and then just on my nose the foundation's kind of separating and I don't know, getting a little bit funny. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Like my forehead looks good. And yeah, it's just like here, there's like a little patch. I am going to go and make some dinner now. I have to go down the shops and get some stuff. So I will be back in a few more hours to let you guys know how everything is holding up. Alright guys, so I'm back. It is now 8:22 in the evening. So I've had the foundation on for about 5 hours now. Sorry if you guys can hear noise in my background. I film in my living room and my dishwasher is on, and the living room and the kitchen are like connected. So if there's like annoying noise, that's what it is. I will say after 5 hours, it really doesn't look that good. It's like just separating, like all heaps of oils coming through. On my chin, it is super cakey. It feels really gross and oily around there. Really oily like in this sort of section of my face. All underneath my eye. My concealer has rubbed off. There's actually mascara transferring underneath there. So I will zoom you guys in so you can see. My forehead is really, really oily, and when I touch it, it does transfer and leaves like a little fingerprint. It's like faded here a lot. There's like a little patch that's faded, and then underneath my chin here, I do touch my face a lot down here, but it has faded there as well. So hopefully you guys can see what it's looking like. My nose is just really like separating. It's all oily. Then it's like all cakey down here. It just doesn't look very good. As for like the prime side and the non-prime side, I don't really notice much difference. There's like a little bit more patches over this side, so maybe that's the only thing, but I never really noticed too much of a difference between like priming and not priming. Under eye concealer did not last whatsoever. So overall, I would say the foundation is probably a medium coverage. I don't think it's full coverage because I did still have a lot of my redness coming through on my cheeks and my nose. And as you guys can see, I do still have a couple of blemishes showing through. It's definitely not a 24-hour wear because this is what it looks like after 5 hours. It wasn't that lightweight on the skin. I could definitely feel it on my skin, especially as I wore it longer throughout the day. Other than that, I think it's not like the worst foundation in the world, but it's just not the best. It does make your skin look pretty poreless, and it did help hide a lot of like my skin texture and that sort of thing. But yeah, just for the most part, it's not my favorite foundation. I definitely won't be reaching for it all of the time. I'm going to try it in the darker color because this one is just a little bit too light and a little bit too pink for my skin. It didn't seem to oxidize or anything on my face, so that's pretty good, which is what I was concerned about and why I mixed them in the first place. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I can't think of anything else. If I do think of anything else I need to let you guys know, I will leave it listed down below for you. I'm going to keep trying out this foundation. I might try mixing it with my Pro Glow and stuff like that just to see how like it works together, and I might like the formula a bit better. I just think it didn't really work for my skin type, which is combination. That's it for this video. I really hope that you guys found this review helpful. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see future videos. I have a ton of hauls coming up for you guys, and just like exciting makeup tutorials and all that sort of stuff. So there's definitely a lot coming up on my channel, so definitely subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Hey guys, blah 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 blah. Impression. Oh my god, why is it so noisy? What the fuck? Shaders? Shades? If you remember. Hey guys. Video isn't out neither. What the hell was that? What the